the area, it starts to get a little hilly, a little curvy in the road.
Right, and the problem is it's going to get dark soon, and the snow will continue, so there'll be more on the road. Poor visibility. Got to be careful. Well, in Arkansas, road crews are working around the clock until the sleet and snow there is cleared.
And the ice isn't just creating problems for drivers. Ice on power lines knocked out power to more than 30,000 customers. The Weather Channel's Ron Blome is in Little Rock with a look at what people are dealing with. And again, you guys at home are helping us show the impacts of Winter Storm Octavia. Schneider has been monitoring social media all day as Winter Storm Octavia impacts you at home. Bonnie, what have you seen out there?
Oh, so many people have been sending great pictures, Alex and Dave. In fact, I reached out to people via my social media pages to find out how Winter Storm Octavia is impacting them and their families. Let's go ahead.
Carolina all have problems, but by far the biggest issues with the power outages are in the state of Arkansas. I want to take a look at the top snow totals so far from Winter Storm Octavia. Looking at Richmond, Kentucky at just over a foot. Down into West Virginia, they've seen a little over a foot of snow. Cape Girardeau at a foot, and a foot for Sacramento, Illinois as well.
So what Boston's been getting for about 4 weeks, you got here. So this is a little bit what that's like. Now, more than 100 plows are out treating roads in the Washington, D.C. area where the snow has just begun.
And meteorologist Kate Parker is live in the nation's capital tonight. And Kate, what are people there saying? They haven't had many snow events, many winter events this season. That's right, Carl. We are watching parts of, say, North, South Carolina, even a bit of Georgia and Tennessee seeing some of that iciness. And so there are concerns for the folks who live in Atlanta. They're going, hey, this isn't going to happen again, is it?
Well, it's really, really close. And I think we're probably going to be okay. It looks like this tide of the cold air coming down through South Carolina and into Northeast Georgia has slowed a little bit. And we've also got a lot of rain coming in from the south and from the west. And there's warmer air aloft with that. And when it's heavier rain, it brings some of that warmth down. So I think it may be able to stem this a little bit. And we'll take a look at the radar in just a moment. But we are really, really concerned about what's going to happen in North Carolina tonight.
Absolutely. Places like Raleigh dealt with big problems last year. Some reports that there's already sleet accumulation on the roads around Raleigh. So they're going, all right, so what does this mean for late drivers or the morning commute?
It's primarily going to be an overnight thing, but a lot of people may run out of power in the middle of the night. And so what we've got is this warmer air that's coming over top of surface freezing air. That's setting the stage for getting rain falling into sub-freezing air. Then notice the white there. As the white moves farther east, it gets closer to North Carolina overnight tonight. That's strong mid-level wind, so there's a lot of lift that's coming in right at that time, right as we've got the warmer air moving in. And so this is a depiction of that in the modeling where the dark blue line is showing us the surface freezing line. So that's the dividing line between rain and freezing rain.
And then this is the dividing line between rain and snow. So to the north you have snow, to the south you have rain. So you're saying you've got rain, but then falling into that pocket of cold air at the surface.
And what's happening with this line is this is the leading edge of the slightly warmer air that's coming in aloft here, where we change over from sub-freezing to freezing at 5,000 feet. And so with that slightly warmer air overhead, we can get the rain, and the rainfall rates really could be significant there in North Carolina right through the overnight, and then finally winding down by tomorrow morning. So right now what we're thinking is that there is this potential for 1/2 of an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. That is huge. I don't know if you've ever been in moderate or heavy freezing rain. I was in that one time in Harrisburg. And I remember I went out to my car and it was literally encased. Like I literally had to chip at my car just to get the door open.
Dig through it, or if you've got a car starter, lucky enough, let it heat up and try to melt it from the inside out. But even that, if it's thick enough, it's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough. And obviously there's a lot of weight in water. And so when you add ice to all these things that are in the air, whether it's branches or power lines, whatever, they start getting weighed down and eventually they snap. And that is really going to be the worry here in central North Carolina and also in parts of northwest South Carolina, right around Greenville, talking about maybe 1/2 of an inch of ice there. So over a pretty large swath, there is potential for power outages in addition to obviously major problems on the roads tomorrow morning.
Right along Interstate 85 from Greenville over to Spartanburg and Gaffney, then right up to Charlotte and further off towards the east. So a big thoroughfare, not just for the people who live here, but for people who might be trying to travel through.
Yeah, and this is one of those spots where we tend to get very bad ice storms. I'm sure you've been through that when you were there. There's the timing of this in Raleigh. The ice coming in tonight and then lingering all night. It's going to be a fairly long duration event, which is why we think there could be a lot of it. And that's what's happening right now. There is the Atlanta Metro, and we'll take another look at this at the top of the hour. And so it's trying to make some progress, but it looks like it's hanging up there. We'll see what happens. And
everyone in Atlanta is doing whatever voodoo they can to try to keep it away. We got to get it away. Hey, thanks so much, Carl. Dave will